Well, it's great to have you here. We're excited to be hosting this regional here at Stillwater at Stadium, and looks like a really good tournament in terms of the teams that are in it, and it looks like should be some great baseball on display starting tomorrow at 12. So we're excited about it, and I know this time of year everybody that's still alive playing is excited about the opportunities in front of them. So our way.
Okay. Hey, Coach, I'm Bob Wolf from the Inside Dental Craig. I just wanted to ask about Marcus, kind of his impact on the program, what kind of player he's been for you, and then maybe Marcus, if you could talk about what it's been like playing over here for you, how the season's gone for you.
Well, Marcus is a great kid. He's a hard worker. He's very committed to his team, but he's also very committed to doing the right things as an individual, both on and off the field. So he's a great role model, and he's a great teammate. And he's been a very good influence on a lot of the younger players in the program, and he's obviously played very well in the field. So Marcus is a very fine all-around person.
Playing over here is a blessing. Playing in this beautiful stadium given to us by Cecil and Bray. Just playing for a great coaching staff over here with Coach Holliday, Matt Holliday, Rob Ventura, Rob Walton. Got a lot of really sound coaches. Just playing at a really good schedule and just having a great group of guys surrounding you every day. It's been a true blessing to play over here.
And how fun has this season been for you guys? Obviously, had a great year, your #1 seed host. What's the season been like for you?
Just like any other season, there's ups and downs, but there's a great surrounding group of guys, I think that we've formed a brotherhood, and we really enjoy being around each other and playing some good ball. So it's been a lot of fun this year.
Josh, you talked about the stadium. What's it mean to have a host, and what do you think it'll mean this weekend here over?
Well, it's nice to be home. It's nice to have the benefit of preparing for this regional all week long here at home, and taking the travel day out of the week has given us a chance to get our feet back on the ground after 5 games we played in the Big 12 tournament, 5 games in 4 days, and we were on the road there for about a week. We were on the road at Baylor before that, so the kids spent a long time on the road and have been putting in a lot of hard work in terms of competing on the road. So get home, get a couple of lifts under our belt, get some good night's sleep, some good practices, and those are pretty valuable pieces of the equation this time of year.
Josh, I assume Victor being here means he's starting tomorrow.
He is.
Kind of what went into that decision and how to work the rotation?
No, Victor's been throwing the ball really well, and obviously it's a tournament, and game 1's critical, and he's in a good spot to throw game 1. He threw game 1 last week. He threw game 1 the week before, and he's been setting a good tone for our ball club with the way he's been competing and throwing the ball, and I feel like he has a chance to go up and match up well tomorrow and give us a great chance to win. And you got to win multiple games to win a tournament, and we feel good about the matchup in game 1 with Victor and Justin in game 2.
Victor, what does it mean to get this start, and considering everything you've gone through the last year, injuries, transferring, to be here where you are?
It's great. It's a blessing. I'm excited for the kind of regionals to start, but it's just we gotta keep going forward. We gotta keep competing, and it's just part of the program. We just gotta all buy in, and like Josh always says, just at this time of year, you're just competing for more time with your boys, and to keep going. So.
Injuries are not good, but did that benefit you in kind of resetting a little bit and kind of figuring some things out, maybe?
Yeah, I definitely think it kind of just slowed everything down for me, and just kind of gave me just the right mind. All I gotta do is just go out there and hit my spots, and everything. Defense will definitely work behind me, and it's just about competing. Just go out there competing. I feel just everything just slowed down for me, and everything's been good so far.
Hey, Victor, from Marcus House, that's what I'm asking about Marcus, but what's your take on him as a teammate and as a ball player, behind you?
No, he's great. He's the first one here. I always kind of joke around with him because he gets to the ballpark at 11 o'clock when we have practice at 2 or whatever. And, he's the hardest working kid for sure I've seen in a while, and he takes everything very personal when it comes to baseball, and he loves the game more than anybody else. I think he's definitely in the right state of mind, and like Josh says, he's a role model to the team, so we kind of just all lead behind him, and he's a good leader.
Josh, what is different about Missouri State now than when you played them earlier in the year? Is there any big differences?
Well, I think probably the biggest difference, they just won their tournament and put together some really clutch, important baseball to extend their season. So I think they probably feel real good about themselves. You know, Coach Gutten's he's an amazing coach and a neat man. I have tremendous respect for him. I think what he's done in college baseball is nothing short of fantastic. When you look at that program and all the years he's put in, the great players they've had. So tremendous respect for him and his team. They always compete fiercely. They're always big and strong. We've seen them now once or twice a year for the last 10 years. So it's a heck of a good baseball program. And this particular team looks like they've probably found their confidence and found their stride late in the year. I mean, they're a good team.
Coach Holliday, sorry, go ahead.
For Coach, you see Arkansas and Missouri State quite a bit. I think you and Coach Stankiewicz coached together at Arizona State. Does this feel different? Just all the familiarity between you and the programs?
Yeah, there is a lot of familiarity. That's very accurate. Grand Canyon played here 3 times last year, plus we played in the regional last year. So we've seen some of these young men on their team. I know Andy personally from 2 years of working with him. He's an awesome person, one of the greatest partners I've ever had in coaching as far as working alongside somebody and them being a great influence on you. He was a great influence on me. He was an awesome baseball person, but an even more enjoyable human being. So I very much enjoyed 2 years with him and really happy for him and all the success Grand Canyon baseball's had since he's been there. He transitioned them from Division II to Division I, and now they're one of the better teams on the West Coast. So he's a neat man, a good friend. We are familiar with Missouri State, having played them, and obviously Arkansas from a proximity standpoint. We know quite a bit about them. We haven't played them in a couple of years, but we do know a fair amount about them. I've known Coach Van Horn forever. So yeah, we do have a little bit of common backgrounds that you can touch on, but those are kind of more from the adult side. I think the games are still just right between the white lines. This collection of athletes for each squad going head to head and just competing. You know, the games are about the players, but I do think the program familiarity is kind of the flavor of regionals. There's a little bit of a regionalized setting from Missouri State, Arkansas, and Oklahoma State's perspective.
And then for Arkansas, if you look at the polls throughout the season, there were a lot of weeks where they were 3 or 4 or vice versa. Was it a little surprising to see that was a 2 seed coming here?
I don't know. I think there's different ways in which I guess teams are viewed ultimately at the end of the year, different statistical ways that maybe those pairings are set. They have a heck of a good ball club, I know that. As you mentioned, they've played premier baseball now for a long stretch of this season and obviously all of last season. They have a very, very good team. They're battle tested, much like we are, having played a tough schedule. So they're a good ball club. There's nothing about this season I'm sure they don't feel like has prepared them for this time of year. So I think all of us probably would tell you that having gotten to this point in the year, you've been challenged and you're ready for whatever comes your way.
You know, Arkansas obviously struggled down the stretch, or else they'd be home probably. Do you see them as kind of a dangerous team just because of the talent, and they were playing real well earlier?
Everybody's dangerous. I don't see there being one team that isn't. Yeah, everyone's dangerous.
Coach Holliday. Go ahead.
You've been waiting.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I talked to Todd, the field superintendent, yesterday, and he talked about just kind of all the work that goes into getting the stadium ready going back to October. What are your thoughts on just the work, whether it's the grounds crew or the construction people going back to when the stadium was built? What are your thoughts on just kind of all the work that's led up to this moment?
Oh, a lot of people put in countless hours to make this possible. Just in the current, you mentioned the staff at Oklahoma State and the grounds crew. Those guys are amazing in the job they do. We have a beautiful surface, and we have great staff here at Oklahoma State that wants to put on a first-class tournament. And when you think about the process of building a stadium, that is a multiple-year deal. Many people and multiple different companies work together to make this happen. So yeah, there's a ton of people that will probably be watching this closely. Very proud of their contribution to it.
Hey Marcus, as a Springdale kid, just having Arkansas in this regional, does this mean a little bit more to you? And do you know anybody on their roster?
Yeah, I have some friends over there. Played summer ball with one of those guys. But yeah, I mean, it means a lot to have a lot of friends and family coming over. But yeah, I got a lot of respect for those guys. I mean, they play really good baseball over there, and I know the coaches and they're great people. And it's just good to welcome them to Stillwater and just ready for a fun weekend.
Did the Razorbacks try to recruit you at all?
Yeah, I mean, being a hometown kid, when I decommitted from Kentucky, I had an opportunity to go play baseball there, and I really liked it over here though. And this place caught my eye, and this coaching staff is phenomenal, and I really fell in love with Stillwater.
Yeah, I know you want to win and play whoever, but would it mean something extra to play Arkansas if you guys got matched up?
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta play whoever's in front of you. You know, Missouri State's a really good team, and you know, all eyes on them first. But yeah, I mean, the opportunity to play Arkansas would be very, very special.
Now, you mentioned you know a lot of the guys, are there 2 or 3 that you know pretty well, the friends in particular?
Yeah, so Jackson Wiggins and Caden Wallace. Caden Wallace is my best friend. Known him for a really, really long time. But man, just great kids, hard workers, outstanding families. So really, really looking forward to getting to talk to them this weekend and watching them play ball.